So it's a big question and kind of a fiery one. However, it's a fair one because I feel, I was mulling it over, and people like Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos have all of this wealth. And I mean, good for them. But I can't help but feel a little aggrieved that we live in a world where 1% of the population have more wealth than the other 99% of the population. That's crazy. And yeah, think about it. These massive billionaires sitting on more money than they can ever spend in their lives, what are they spending their money on? Sending people to the moon? Building rockets? Metaverses? But actually, what should they be spending their money on? Could they afford to be a little bit more philanthropic? Actually, I think they could. So let's have a look. Is it fair to say that billionaires are kind of ruining the world? And actually, I think to some extent they are. So let's go into the kind of main reasons behind this. So economically, billionaires hold extraordinary power. They are the top 1%, as I've said, and they own more than half of the world's assets. They own half of the world's assets. That's crazy. So reining in the billionaires, how do we do this? Well, actually, we don't need guillotines. We actually need courage and coordination, two C's there. And there's a little pragmatic roadmap that we could follow to get ourselves out of this situation where billionaires control all the wealth and all the power. And that's for us to do that thing that I mentioned earlier, tax the top properly. So implement maybe a global minimum wealth tax. Wow, that sounds fun, doesn't it? So that would close loopholes that let billionaires hide trillions in offshore bank accounts and introduce inheritance caps. So dynastic wealth, so dynasties that pass on that wealth, don't perpetuate inequality for centuries and centuries and centuries, because that ain't good. So let's have a look at this. A modest 2% wealth tax on billionaires could raise over 250 billion US dollars a year. 2% tax on a billionaire could raise 250 billion a year, and that's enough to lift 2 billion people above poverty lines. And this source is Oxfam 2023 Survival of the Richest report. So that's where that statistic is from. Wow, that's crazy. And there's certainly some food for thought there, people, isn't there?